Okay, I made a tutorial on the Firebird Wizard, but it didn't save because I didn't understand how to save my video on demands. I got that taken care of, so I'm doing another one of these. And I'm going from the perspective that you have a level 70 wizard already. All right, and you need to gear this wizard up, and I'm going to assume you've been playing a while and you got some stuff in your stash and probably finished your first four seasonal journeys, right? Finished 1, 2, 3, 4. And therefore you have your set, which is the Firebird set, is your Hedrig's gift from finishing those. So I'm going to put one together, and because when I done the other one, I was using all my OP gear. And so I want to put one together with lesser gear, lesser gems. I went and got 3 new Bane of the Trap, Bane of the Stricken, and a Teguk. And they're at level 0, and I'm going to rank them up to 25 to show you the difference. And use just normal gear, nothing really ancient, nothing augmented. But I'm going to show you how to get gear you need to start this. Now, you have your level 70 wizard, you got your gear, but you probably don't have your sword, and you don't have stuff you need for your cube. Now, I suggest when you're starting this and you're just building it, especially if you're new to the Firebird's Wizard, in your cube, you will need the Orb of Infinite Death, you will need her Brash's Binding, and a Ring of Royal Grandeur. You get your Ring of Royal Grandeur from doing bounties, right? In adventure mode. You're playing in adventure mode, obviously, and you have to do all 5 bounties in all 5 worlds to get the 5 different bounty mats. Calderon Rune, Chaldeum Nightshade, Ariat War Tapestry, and the Corrupted Angel Flesh. And Westmarch Holy Water. Those are your bounty mats, and you will, of course, need Forgotten Souls that you've been getting from salvaging. Hopefully you've been salvaging and not selling your legendary items at the Forge. Now, I'm going to assume you've gotten your Firebird's Hedrig's gift, but you don't quite have everything you need in your stash, and you don't have a Death Wish yet. All right, so here's a quick, easy way to get Death Wish. This is going to be a recipe for Season 25. Now, this will work on Season 25, but I don't know if it'll work non-season or at any other time. You're going to go to create a hero. You're going to get a wizard. You're going to get a male wizard. Name doesn't matter. All right? And then you're going to go to Game Settings, Adventure Mode, Act 1, and T6. Start your game. You're going to come over here to Hedrig's Forge. You're going to go to the weapons. You're going to go to swords. You're going to craft a Sovereign Tsunami Blade. And this is going to cost you, I think it's like 15 Veiled Crystal and, reusable parts. I forget the exact amounts, but it's not a whole lot. You're going to craft one of those swords. Then you're going to waddle over here to the cube, which I'm hoping you already have your cube, and I don't have to go over where to get that. And then you're going to go to Upgrade Rare Item. And you're going to upgrade this, and you can see by the recipe, it'll cost you 25 Death Breath, 50 reusable parts, 50 Arcane Dust, and 50 Veiled Crystal. Of course, you get your Death Breath from killing elite and champion monsters and boss monsters, right? You get your reusable parts from all the weapons, the white weapons that you get from the little weapons rack where you go buy it, you hit it, and it drops out one weapon. And I'll go over that later too in gameplay. You get arcane, and then you get your reusable parts from salvaging that white gear. You get your arcane dust from salvaging blue gear, which drops all the time all over the place. Blue armor and weapons. Veiled crystal you get from yellow or rare equipment and weapons that drop and you salvage. Now, generally speaking, I think when you salvage a white item, you get 7 to 9 reusable parts. When you salvage arcane a blue weapon or gear, you get, I believe, like 5 arcane dust. But when you salvage a rare, you only get 1 veiled crystal. And the same when you salvage a legendary item, you only get 1 lost soul. Unless it's an ancient legendary item, then you get 3. And if it's a primal ancient legendary item, I believe you get 15 lost souls. So that's how you get your materials for that. Now you're going to upgrade that rare sword that you just crafted. And there's your death wish that you're going to need for your build. Then we're going to go back over here to weapons. And we are going... Oh, I guess it's under armor. To craft... here we go. So weapons, shield, and then the sovereign motion sphere. And I believe you only need 2 of these. And then you go back to your upgrade rare. First one, mirror ball. Second one, and there's your orb of infinite depth. Once you have that, you're going to go to extract a legendary power. And it doesn't show on here because I've already added it to my cube. And you're going to extract the legendary power from your orb of infinite depth and put it into your cube. Your Herbrash's binding, I don't think I was able to get one of those easily, like right away. But we'll try again. We'll craft 10 of these. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll do a few more. We'll waddle on back over here and we'll upgrade a few of these, see if we get one. This is a good way to get gear every season, is you just make a level 1 character, make a few of the level 70 items, and then just upgrade them. And usually at level 1, you stand a higher chance of getting a legendary you need. Because there's only so many it'll give you at level 1. And the same with gambling it over at Urshi. I should have been counting these so I knew which one it was if it does come up. Excuse me. Well, so we didn't get Herbrash's binding. That doesn't look like it's one that's going to come up easily for us. Just gonna have to play for it for a while, I guess. And I don't know if you'd have enough gems to be able to craft necklaces and upgrade them to get your Traveler's Pledge, or rings to get your Compass Rose, but we'll do like 10 of each. 2. Come back over here. Upgrade our item. Let's see what we get out of this. Rack off. And these are all items you could use in the interim. Anyways, till you get what you're looking for, which is going to be Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose. Oh, there's the Traveler's Pledge. So, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 5th one in is going to be your Traveler's Pledge that you're going to be able to use. Right? And I am going to salvage my yellows again really quick. Now let's go rings. Maybe we'll get lucky with rings. Level 70 sovereign ring. Upgrade rare. Stone of Jordan. Unity. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. You'll need that for later. So that's good to know you get that on your 3rd roll. Another Stone of Jordan. Halo of Trini. You're going to need that ring also for the build. So there we go. There's 4 in. Another Halo of Trini. Restraint. Oh, that was... Wow. Primal Restraint. Probably junk. Another Restraint. And no Compass Rose within the first 10. Yeah. There's no crit hit chance or crit hit damage on that Restraint. Kind of junk. Not any on that one either. Halo of Trini. You got 2 of them. That one has crit hit chance. And it has a socket. So, and cooldown. So that's a good Halo of Trini. You know, Obsidian. The Obsidian 5.5 crit hit chance. That'll be good. Alrighty. Stone of Jordan, yeah. Rest of them, not too impressive. So, that's a good start to the gear you're going to need. And then you're going to come over here, and you're going to put this stuff you've just gotten. I'll recycle that. Because technically speaking, you would have put that orb in your cube anyways. And we will save the Halo of Trini's, the Obsidian, Ring of the Zodiac. And Traveler's Pledge. Anything else we need? Nah. Come back over here. Salvage all this stuff. Let's see one. Now here's where we can test what I said. A primal, 15 lost souls, and an ancient legendary. You can tell it's ancient because it's got the extra little gold banner around it, so you know it's ancient. 3 lost souls, and then 1 for everything else. Yay, we figured some stuff out. Yeah, okay, I'm just silly. All right, so now we can quit out. And then switch hero. And we no longer need this here. So we can just straight up delete him. Goodbye, Zurich. We're going to go get our filthy casual again. Alrighty. So now you've already put in your Orb of Infinite Depth in here. You don't have a Herb Rashes yet, but it'll drop. And you can always, another way to help get that faster is when you gamble, you come over here and just gamble for waistbands. Oh, she's not being very nice to me, is she? All right, let's see what we got. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. And then you can, of course, again, come over here and upgrade rares again until you get your Herbrash binding. And you'll just have to keep doing this till you get it. Or maybe one will just drop for you during gameplay. I know it's probably silly of me to be gambling and upgrading to get this when I already have it in the cube, but I want to show you that it can be done. Oh, that Krem's buff belt. Blackthorns. Garbage. Now if you have the bounty materials, enough bounty materials to put some of the stuff in your cube, I mean, you can do that because extracting, there it is, Herbrash binding. So it doesn't take, it's not horribly hard or that long to get what you need. And then, of course, you would extract that legendary power, put it in the cube. See, I'll just do this one. Now, it consumes that item. So that item's gone. But the legendary affix on it reduces damage from melee attacks by 30%. It's now in the cube, and I can equip it under powers in the cube. Where it went. I didn't even look what item it was, so. But it's going to be in there. So you've got your Orb of Infinite Death, you've got your Herbrash binding, and I'm assuming you have your Ring of Grandeur from running bounties earlier. Don't get rid of that. Okay. So now we'll start with that death wish we just rolled. And I will, since I'm not sure which Traveler's Pledge it was, we'll just see. It's got fire. Oh, well. Let's see. I'm going to go with one, because you want one with fire damage on it. So, that's not really fair, though, is it? Let's assume you just got that one with intelligence and vitality and some crit hit damage on it, some cooldown, right? Nothing really spectacular. Okay, and then I'm going to assume you managed to get a compass rose, or once you've gotten one. Now, is what you want is you want one, in the end, you want it to have crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and dexterity on it, right? But I'm going to assume, like normal, like most things, you didn't get a good one to start with. So we'll just find one here with intelligence. I got a bunch of these with my monk. They all have dexterity on them. There we go. That's not a bad little one. We'll go with that one. And then a Halo of Creamy. Now, the cool thing about the Halo of Creamy, the Halo of Creamy always comes with a socket. Always comes with a socket. Right? It's pretty hard to get a legendary one, or I mean a decent ancient one, which I got one here. It's all right, but there's no crit hit down on it or anything. And see, now this one's got them both. But I'm going to assume you didn't get a very good one. Okay, let's see. Let's go. This first one. Damage. See, it's kind of random. All them stats are fairly random. Okay, so let's go with the first one in the row. Right? Not very impressive. Okay, so there's that. Let's see, what do I got? Do I have? I know I got some extra pieces of some of this. And I'm going to use. I got extra pants. Ooh, I got some extra pants. Grab a couple of pairs. So I don't think I have any of the other pieces, because I have some decent ones and I wasn't planning on changing them. But I guess I do. Regular pair of Firebird's Talons. All right. Let's put on these pants. Put on a pair of gloves. And then we're going to convert for some other pieces. Like I said, I'm assuming you already have this, so you should be able to put this set on. And I'm going to convert some of these pieces to get some other pieces I don't need, which is really cheap, which is something. Oh, it auto-equipped it. Okay. And what else do I need? I'm going to need, a helm. And I already got pants on. So let's go back down to convert. Convert another one of these. Firebird's Eye. I did not have one of those. Another Firebird's Eye. Give me a plume. Firebirds. And I can just recraft that. Convert that. Till I get a plume, hopefully. Boots. Not using the boots. There we go, Firebird's plume. All right, so I have the plume. Ta-da. Not really going to be wearing those. I just grabbed them out so I can convert them. Take those back off. You know, because that one's better. Now, in comparison, now see, they always come with fire damage, right? So that one's got 18% fire skill damage. That one's got 20. So it's a little higher. I'm going to take that one. And what they don't always come with is critical hits grant 3 arcane. Now, the highest is 4, and you really would prefer to have that. And you want high fire skill damage, right? So we don't really, I'm not too worried about that right now. I just trying to get a good working set rolling. All right, so we're going to run with that one. We're going to put this on. We're going to put on our rings. Okay, necklace. Get a pair of pants on, not too worried. Oh, equip our sword for now. And we can put, there we go. And we can put our leftover stuff back in the cube. Or not the cube, the stash. Oh, so paying attention, aren't I? And I saved. I have a bunch of extra pieces, even though I'm not wearing them. Thinking, well, maybe later in the season, if I get bored, I might convert these to some of these items I am wearing and upgrade and reforge legendary to try and make them primal, right? So, now, the next things you're going to need for this set, you're going to want to come over here to your blacksmith, go to armor, right? And you're going to want to craft the Captain's Crimson Silk Girdle. Now, the recipe book for this can be found. They drop out of your bounty caches, your heraldic cache that you get from doing bounties. And I'm gonna assume you had to do like 4 or 5 complete rounds of bounties just to get your Ring of Grandeur. And in doing so, you probably got all the books there are to give for the blacksmith, and you've trained your blacksmith all the way up to 12, right? Which is one of the first things you should do. And I'll do something later, like maybe next season when the season starts, on how to start a character and go through that, because normally you would go do the challenge rift, because you get the cash for that comes with a few of the bounty mats you need, and lost souls, and veiled crystal, whatnot, gold, so you can start your character. All right, so craft those, put those on, right? And then you will also want to craft under the shoulder blade, shoulder pads, and on Gould's Power, and an on Gould's Search. There we go. Now, let me set my skills. And I'll go over why I have them, where I have them, and why I have each one selected, right? Go over that here in a little bit. But right now, we're just looking at gear for now. So here's our Death Wish. Now again, like I said, it depends from here whether you have a Ramadali's gift or not. Ramaladni's gift. You can use one of these to put a socket on your weapon. Now, I'm going to assume you don't actually have one of those yet, right? So let's put this back away. Now, so what you're going to want to do is see where it says the cold damage, because you're going to want to roll that for poison damage eventually, but you kind of need the socket more right now. So you're going to come over here to the Enchantress, select your Death Wish, and you're going to select that cold damage. Now, once you're there, if you hit the X button, it'll give you a list of all the things you can roll that for, right? And each one of these is going to roll for something different, different various stats. And 3 or 4 of them have socket on it, right? You can roll a socket there. You can roll a socket there. But the reason why I'm going to roll the cold damage for the socket is because later on I'm going to re-roll it for poison damage so that the soul shard gems that are the seasonal buff this season will work better with this, right? So later on, so you're going to do this. Now let's roll for the socket. Like I said, I'm going to assume you don't have a Ramalades, but the soul shards drop from every boss monster you kill. You get soul shards, and the Hellforge embers that you use to upgrade the soul shards with drop at a rate 3 times higher than the Ramalades gift. So I'm going to assume you have the embers and you have the soul shard. And we're going to roll for a socket here, which sometimes it shows up right away. Sometimes you have to roll for a while. Rolling for a while sucks because it burns up your mats. And then you'll have to go out adventuring and get more mats. Oh. My Enchantress is not being very nice to me. 8% damage. Or Mystic. She's actually the Mystic Miriam. See, the Ams. Mystic Miriam. Oh, come on. Give it up. The gods of random number generation are not being very nice to me right now. Oh, for yeah, curse words upon curse words. Oh, for filthily foreign, filthily foreign, filth. Back to cold damage, yay. Maybe rolling for a socket on this wasn't the best idea. I've been paying attention. I haven't seen poison damage either. Well, there's the point of poison damage. If you have a Ramadales and you just want to put a socket on. Again, I'm assuming you don't have a socket on your Death Wish. And don't have a Ramadal Ding Dong. I know it'll roll for a socket. It says socket right there. This is being mean to me because I'm streaming this, trying to show you something. And the gods of random number generation are going, no, Paul, no, you cannot have it. There's the poison damage again. Yep. I'm about to give up on this and just use a Ramadan Ding Dong. It's just not being very nice to me. Yep. Okay. Let's find the poison damage then. Because it seemed like that did actually come up fairly early in the rolling. I seen it, but I didn't fix it right away. Reduce cooldowns. Would be handy. Ah, there's our poison damage. It's not being nice about giving me that socket. And that's how you put a socket on a weapon using a Ramadan Ding Dong. Like, oh, come now, be nice. Now, and we'll put that. We'll put that in the helm. Don't have, oh, this is going to be fun. We do have to roll some things for sockets. Because I just went with base stuff. Now, the reason we're using this soul gem for season 25 on this build, the essence of anguish. Now, it doesn't seem... Oh, and the Death Wish, the thing that makes the Death Wish the weapon you use, while channeling Arcane Torrent, disintegrate Ray of Frost for at least 1 second, all damage is increased by 266. Now, that caps out at 325. So as you get better Death Wishes, kind of keep an eye for that number, right, in your stats. And here, and I should pull these out, go over the stats on just those really quick. Okay, here's the stats on this, right? So, this comes with 200% damage, extra damage. Now, these numbers... let's compare, go in here, and we will compare. That's not what I wanted to do. I am for always hitting the wrong button. You'll have to, right, compare, come back over here, scroll. There we go. Now, when you first get it, you only get the one stat. Right? Every time you deal poison damage to an enemy, you increase your cooldown, reduction, and movement speed by 2.5%, while damage received is increased by 5%. Now that does sound like a bad thing, and later I'll show you the wizard comes with a lot of damage reduction. So this build is really tanky. It's got a lot of damage reduction that you can put into it. So you can live with that extra 50% damage because it's 5% for 10 seconds, stacks, maximum stack of 10 stacks. So it's 50% increased damage, but you have plenty of room to absorb that, right? The big deal is your cooldowns will go up 25%. Your cooldown reduction and your movement speed. And with a wizard, movement speed translates into paper damage. So you'll do more damage, right? So even if that's just level 0, you're going to want to put it in there. All right, now, the rest of those stats can be kind of random. The 270 damage, the 25 fire skill damage is going to be random. The critical hit damage comes on everyone. It's a little random. Life per hit, thorns damage. I'm not positive that comes on everyone. I'm not sure if I have any other of these leveled up. I don't think I do. Nope. But and the fire damage, sometimes it's cold damage, sometimes it's poison damage, sometimes it's critical hit damage, or critical hit chance. So you're going to want one that for sure has fire skill damage on it. And you want the second stat, your movement speed and cooldown reductions can be increased up to 15 times by dealing poison damage to an enemy. Now see, that's why we rolled the poison damage on our weapon. So that we get that, right? So that's why we had to put poison damage on the sword. Oops. And then we need to go over this gem, while you're going to use that gem. Or a soul shard. I think I have an extra one of these somewhere. There we go. Now, it comes with, you deal 15% reduced damage while you have 3 or fewer enemies within 25 yards, right? That's the rank 0 affix, right? You deal 5% increased damage per enemy to 50%. Now you're going to want to get the one where the secondary affix says you now deal 10% increased damage for every enemy within 25 yards, right? Dun, 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 dun. So it's 100% damage equals 100% damage. And then you're going to want one with intelligence on it. And the other affixes, they're just, every one of them will have the cooldown and the resource cost, because it gives you it gives you, what am I trying to say here? Having a level 3 soul shard affixed in your helm gives you the properties of all these gems, right? So it'll give you damage to elites. It'll give you cooldown reduction. It'll give you bonus XP. It'll give you resource cost reduction. It'll give you extra gold, and it will give you life percentage, extra life, right? Just for having that soul shard in your helm, you'll gain those properties of all those that you would normally get if you put one of those in your helm. So now when we look at our helm, you can see all the extras you get, right? See? So there's your reduced resource costs, reduced cooldowns, 50% gold, or 50% experience, 35% gold for monsters. And cooldown, right? Physical damage. So, one with intent, and then we're going to put this one in here. Forgot what I was saying. Yeah, as you've noticed, it's not very hard for me to forget what I was saying and where I was going with something, but I'll get back around to it sooner or later. So, then the next thing we're going to want for this build. Now, early on, if you're dying a lot, you might want to put diamonds in your armor, because it gives you resist all, right? So it just makes you tougher. It gives you armor. But, this build, though, it already has so much built in, you can actually just straight go with topaz, which is going to give you intelligence, straight intelligence. So drop the 3 biggest topaz. See, we'll look. And it says other, which is going to be your armor or your offhand weapon, right? Straight gives you more intelligence. on a wizard, intelligence, see here, intelligence, primary attribute for witch doctors, wizards, and necromancers. Increases all damage for witch doctors, wizards, and necromancers by, by the amount of increased intelligence I have. So right now, here, and that was something I forgot. I forgot to assume you don't have a lot of Paragon. So I am going to reset all my Paragon to 0, even though I'm sure you'll have more. I'm just going to assume you have 0 and take all mine out. And the idea is to show you what the base Firebird's build is capable of doing. There we go. So now I'm down to 8,000 increased damage, right? Yeah. So, and my total damage right now, 400,000. Doesn't look, but see, even then with it, like, my shield is already 25 million. My health is 23,000, right? Actually, I think that's 2.3 million. So, still working on gear. Now, hopefully, it didn't cost you too much to put poison damage or a socket on that weapon. And now you're going to want to go through and fix your gear here to make it a little better, just a little better, right? Because you're not going to want to spend too much on it because none of this gear is ancient, right? So we already have return on our arcane. 4 is the best, right? But 3 is good. 3 is doable, all right? And we already have 20% fire skill damage, which we cannot roll any higher on the Firebird Eye, right? Whatever it is what it is on that piece. If it's 15%, that's what you get. You get 15. But what we can do is increase our chance of getting critical hits. So we'll go down and we'll just start looking and see what we have with critical hit chance on it. No crit hit chance on that skill. Does not appear. No critical hit chance there. Energy twister damage. We can get a socket. We don't need a socket, definitely. Should be on here. I thought it was on here. Damage to elites, weapon damage, area damage, resource reduction, cooldown. Nope. So, may end up having to roll the intelligence off, which kind of sucks. Yep, critical hit chance, 8 to 10. We need the critical hit chance, though, because this build runs on crit hit chance and fire damage. Gosh, it sucks that it's not on anything else. Oh, well, that's how it goes. So we're going to roll that, see if we can get some crit hit chance. Now, I don't know if you notice, when I'm rolling this stuff, I generally just kind of jump around as to which one I pick. Oh, there's a socket. They're not very nice, are they? Vitality. Reduction. Which gives you damage, by the way. Thanks to your Captain's Crimson set, which I haven't got into. Aha, there you go. Oh, and it gives us the full 10. All right. Now let's look at our Goulds here. Now, what we definitely need on our Goulds, Right, see where it says arcane skill damage? We need that to be fire skill damage. So we're going to roll for fire skill damage right off the bat. There's 15% of 20. Let's see if we can get 20 in a couple rolls here. If not, 15 is good enough for now. Because again, you're not going to keep this gear. Right? Some people wouldn't even waste their time rolling any of this on this stuff. But I want to give you a better chance of success with the build. So I'm just going to do some quick, we're going to call 16 good. Now let's look at this. We have to roll a socket on this, so it doesn't matter what it has or it doesn't have. It has crit hit dam, vitality, intelligence, resource cooldown, which is a good, well, that resource cooldown will give you damage reduction thanks to your Captain's Crimson set, which I haven't got to yet, but we will get there. So we're going to roll this vitality off for a socket. Again, the list is long, but not too long of possibilities. We could still be here for a minute, though. Now, as you can see, to roll, when you're rolling rings and necklaces, you know, your accessories, it will cost you gems to roll them, and Death Breath and Forgotten Souls. So make sure you have enough to get the job done. See, now normally you want fire skill damage because this is one of the other few items you can get it. So you want crit hit chance, crit hit damage, fire skill damage, and a socket would be the preferred rolls, preferred things you want on your Traveler's Pledge. Which is not always, you know, I mean, getting a good one like that is hard. Getting a good one like that that's ancient is really hard. Getting a primal one like that is really, really hard. So you just, you settle for what you can get. And again, I'm just trying to give you a better chance here to showcase this build early in the game. And it's happened to me where I've run out of crafting materials early on to be able to try and get a socket or whatever, and would have to come back to it or hope that a better item dropped for me, right? See, now if it already had a socket, that would be a fairly decent Traveler's Pledge. There's our socket. And then we're going to want to now these are the legendary gems you're going to need for this build. Bane of the Stricken, Bane of the Trapped, and Teguk. Now I went and I got myself some level 0 ones. I used my monk. I took all 3 of these gems, my extras, whatever, out of my stash and left them on my wizard and went and used my monk and ran like 3 level 10 GRs and got 3 more. So you can duplicate your legendary gems by leaving them on one character and then running GRs with another character, and it will repropagate those if they're not on you, on the character you're playing, or in your stash, right? So you can get more gems to work with. And we're just going to put the Bane of the Stricken in Traveler's Pledge for now. We'll put this Bane of the Trapped in the Halo of Creenie. And what else needed a socket? Oh, Compass Rose needs a socket. Now, ideally, you would want crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and intelligence, right? So, vitality's nice, area damage, movement speed. Let's see if these lower ones will give us a socket. Want to keep that. Vitality. Of course, vitality will give us a socket. We can get a socket by rolling off the area damage. We can also get it by rolling off the movement speed. Okay, that's a pretty short list there on both of those. So we'll roll off the area damage. Don't really want a lot of area damage anyways because it can cause lag. And some people get really upset with lag. Oh yeah. Just because I'm streaming this, it's going to be difficult. Everything I do, I have a feeling. I'm going to go through a ton of maths, and when I get back to playing with everybody, they're going to be all, what happened to all your maths? And I'm like, well, I was an idiot. I was doing a tutorial video that nobody's going to watch. Maybe like 3 people. But that's all right. Shoot. There it is. Okay. Okay. Put our topaz. Oh, that can go in the trash. Okay. So already our damage is up from, what was it? Was 400,000 up to 600,000 just by adding the intelligence and what little things we've done. Now we're probably not getting a lot off our gemstones right now because they're level 0. Right? So Bane of the Stricken, level 0. Each attack you make against an enemy increases the damage it takes from your attacks by 0.8%, which isn't a whole lot, but we do have cooldown reduction on this, which is cool, I just noticed. Now, why that's a big deal is your Captain Crimson set, because you have your Ring of Grandeur affixed in the cube, right? You can get, it takes the amount of pieces you need for a set bonus down by 1. So you only need 2 items to get a 3 set piece bonus, right? And that's why we only need 5 pieces of the Firebirds to get our 6 piece set bonus. And it leaves us room, excuse me, let me get something to drink, to add things to our build. Now, since the Firebirds actually uses 7 pieces, there's 7 pieces in the kit, we can leave 2 pieces out, right? Only use 5 pieces to get our 6 piece bonus. Now, because of that, we have room to run some extra sets. So normally you can use Ring of Royal Grandeur and then add captains or a ghouls to the set, right? Get your extra, or a piece you need to create damage. Now, the captain set, the way it works, is a 2 piece bonus on that, 6,000 life per second, reduces cooldowns of all skills by 20%. Now, a cooldown is how long it takes you to cast something like, I'm going to hit teleport. Now you can see it cooling down. Dink. Now it's cooled down. Explosive blast. You can see it cooling down. It's ready to go again already. Our cooldowns on this are already good enough to where it's firing all the time, which is actually really good. That's so early in the build we have that much cooldown. Okay, back to our Captain's Crimson set. Now, the 3-set bonus. This is the big one. Damage dealt is increased by your percentage of cooldown reduction. So the set gives us 20%, so that's 20% more damage right off the top. Damage taken is reduced by your percentage of cost reduction. Gives us 20%. That's already 20% damage reduction. So it's a huge bonus just to wear them 2 pieces, right? Big deal, just to throw 2 pieces in. Right, now our Gould set that we also crafted reduces damage taken by 15%. So now we're already at 35% damage reduction, right? And then it subtracts another 30%, and it increases damage dealt by 30%. Takes another 30% off the damage you take from elite monsters and gives you another 30% damage to elite monsters. That's a big deal. Later on in the game, it's a big deal. So now at this point, we're running our Firebirds 6-set bonus. We're running Captain's Crimson Silk 3-set bonus. We're running, oh, come on. There we go. The Guild's 3-set bonus. And we're running the Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose 2-set bonus. So we're running 4 different sets on this one build to give you an idea of why this build is so devastating. And there's other, there's builds you can do without the Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose, but this is a good start set for people because the 2-set bonus on this, while moving, damage taken is reduced by 50%. So anytime you're walking around, right, you can see it counting up down there in the corner, right, counting up to 50, and then I stop moving, it'll slowly count down, and once I stop moving, you see the other item go on to 100 on that, and that's the second, changing directions. This is the name of the, right, so endless walk, changing directions. And while standing still, damage dealt is increased up to 100%. So the longer you stand still, it climbs up. And as you can see, it takes a second for each one to go up and go down. Right? Now here's the thing about the Firebirds. You're going to be holding the trigger down all the time. Right? Especially if you have Herbrash's Binding in the queue. Now, the reason you want Herbrash's Binding is because it reduces the arcane power cost of Arcane Torrent and Disintegrate and Ray of Frost by 65%, right? So it costs you 65% less to use your main damage creator, right? So by using this, it takes, let's look, your 2-set bonus. Disintegrate, the 25-foot laser beam, right? Disintegrate ignites enemies, causing them to take 3,000% increased weapon damage per second until they die. Okay, when you die, a meteor falls from the sky and revives you. This effect has a 60-second cooldown. So it's basically like every 60 seconds, you get a free life if you take critical damage. The 4-set bonus, casting Disintegrate adds combustion stacks that reduce the cooldown of teleport by 2% per stack. Stacks up to 50 times. You gain 80% damage reduction while maintaining combustion stacks. So now, remember going over, we have 35% damage reduction just from this and this set, right? Now, also, anytime you can see disintegrate stacks over there, the ignite stacks, anytime you have any of those, you automatically have 80% cooldown reduction. Right? Which is awesome. So you're already over 100% damage reduction, right? Okay, back to the stacks. Now, and once those stacks get built up, you have instant teleport. As long as once you get to that point, as long as you can even quit, right? It'll last a while that you will have that unlimited teleport. Excuse me again. Okay, now, on to the 6-piece set bonus for your Firebirds. You gain 5,000% increased damage while Ignite is applied to a target. So, you've hit him with your laser beam, he's on fire, so they're taking 3,000, now they take an extra 5,000% damage, right? Hitting an ignited enemy with a non-channeling fire spell, right? So your disintegrate ray is a channeling spell because you're using it all the time, right? Yep. Let's go into skills and look at it really quick. Now I generally have this on a trigger button because you're holding it down all the time, right? Channel a beam of pure energy, dealing 390% weapon damage as arcane, right? And then you select on your runes, you want Chaos Nexus. While channeling the beam, you become charged with energy and discharge at nearby enemies, dealing 115% weapon damage as arcane. So this is gonna, when you're in a crowd of people, it's gonna shoot extra little red beams off and start all the people around you on fire. That's your channeling skill. Now, next is the Explosive Blast. That is a non-channeling fire skill. And I generally have that on the A button because it's something I can just hold down. So I can just hold down the trigger and the A button to have those two skills going all the time, constantly, right? So Explosive Blast costs 20 arcane, has a 6-second cooldown. That's why another reason you want lots of cooldown. So that's firing off again. As soon as that 6 seconds is up, you're lighting off. And pretty soon all those explosions, you get it short enough, they'll start laying over the top of each other. And it's going to be going boom, 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 boom. And every time it goes boom, and you hit a monster with it, you set off that 6-piece bonus, right? That extra 5,000 damage. Now, and it's not just 5,000, right? Hitting an ignited enemy with a non-channeling fire spell, like Explosive Blast, deals ignite damage multiplied by combustion stacks. Now, pets cannot trigger this effect. Now, they just added that to try and nerf this set this season because the guys on PC used to run this with, instead of tornadoes like I use, they used the mirror image, right? So instead of using these, they used mirror images, right? And you'd have all these guys that would run out and attack dudes, and they'd get a whole bunch of damage for doing it. But they were really unpredictable as to where they were going to go and who they were going to attack. They were just kind of unreliable and kind of shit. So on PC, on console, we started using the Energy Twister as that secondary attack, right? So you have Explosive Blast and now the Energy Twister to get your your combustion stack bonus damage. Right now on PC, they can't channel and fire those at the same time like we can. It's kind of a little bonus thing we get on consoles. Because like here on the Xbox, we don't get to use modded gear in seasonal, like on Switch and PS4, and on the PC. They can use modded gear during seasonal, which would ruin the game for me. I don't think I'd even play. Right? So that's one of the reasons why I enjoy playing Diablo 3 on the Xbox seasonal, is because people can't use modded gear. So it's more of a challenge to move up the leaderboards. Right? Let's go leaderboards, Greater Rift Wizard, friends. I'm listed 344 out of like, I don't know, stupid, like 10,000 people that are playing a wizard this season. I'm at 344 on the list. I've run a 143 Greater Rift, right? And it's just more of a challenge because that modded gear is like 2 pieces of modded gear, and you can go run a 150 in 5 minutes. It's just stupid. It's like, why? Why even bother playing the game then if that's all you're going to do? And that's my rant on that. Okay, so back to our gear. So I was going over the 6-piece set bonus on this, right? Okay, so yeah. Multiplied by 50, because you have 50, because you are channeling this at all times and you never stop. It's always at 50. So you're always getting that 50% bonus, right? So now, I guess next to be finish going over skills. Like I said, generally on a trigger button, I put Disintegrate, Chaos Nexus. On A button, I do the chain reaction, right? So instead of a single explosion, release a chain of 3 consecutive explosions, each dealing 520% weapon damage as fire. Next, on a button really close to the I'm not sure how the buttons are laid out on the Switch, but you're gonna want to there should be 2 front trigger buttons, like a RB and an RT, and 4 buttons, and they're gonna be in a diamond pattern. So the lower button, like on the Xbox pad, is the A button. That's Explosive Blast. Right to the left of that, the next button, so you can just lay your thumb across and hold them both down at the same time. I put that Energy Twister, right? Unleash a twister of pure energy that deals 1,525% weapon damage as arcane over 6 seconds to everything in its path. And then I use Gale Force. Enemies hit by Energy Twister take 15% increased damage from fire for 4 seconds. So that's just, we're just stacking fire damage, right? Excuse me, needed some water. That's the whole thing on this build. You're doing fire damage. If you can put fire damage on something, you put fire damage on it. Now, and that's part of the reason, when you're killing stuff with this, all the attacks do damage over time. So you don't just hit something generally with your Disintegrate Ray and it just dies, right? It takes a second. That damage kind of builds up. Whereas there's a lot of other builds that deal the damage immediately. And it's like you just hit them and boom, everything dies. This takes a second. But that's okay because we have a lot of defense on this. So back to our skills. Next thing you're going to want to run is Force Weapon. I have the wrong thing on. And you're going to want to use Conduit, right? Because you're early in the game. You don't have a lot of cooldown, resource reduction. You don't have the best crit hit chance. So you're not getting a lot of arcane back per crit hit because you don't have a lot of crit hit chance. You're just not getting a lot of crit hits. So you want to put this on Conduit. Enemies hit by attacks restore up to 3 arcane power, right? And that's your secondary fix, your top affix, and imbue your weapon with magical energy, granting it 10% increased damage. Now later on, you'll probably change it to Force Weapon to change that 10% to 20% damage, right? But that's later. Right now, you need the arcane power. Next, and that's on the Y button. I put that on a button further away from the A, up, because once it's on, it stays on. Once you get in your rift and you hit it, right? You just hit it, and it stays on. You see the yellow ring about it. It doesn't go off until you close the rift, right? So once you hit it, it's hit it and forget it. Okay, and then next, on the RB, right bumper, I generally put Storm Armor, right? And I put Power of the Storm. Reduce the arcane power cost of all skills by 3 while Storm Armor is active. So again, that's just a resource reduction, right? And bathe yourself in electrical energy, periodically shocking a nearby enemy for 175% weapon damage, right? As lightning lasts 10 minutes. The reason we use that, I'll come back to the passives in a second, and I'll explain this, is then because we pair it with the Halo of Careening Ring, right? You take 64%, and that number goes up or down. I think the highest is 85% 80 or 85% damage reduction, right? Lowest is probably around 55 or something. I don't know. Probably that 64 with my luck. Okay, you take 64% less damage for 5 seconds after your storm armor electrocutes an enemy more than 15 yards away. So that's damage reduction, 65%, another 65% damage reduction, making you a little more tanky. And that's why we use the storm armor, Power of the Storm, right, for resource reduction. And because we pair it with the Halo of Carini, we get some damage reduction, right? Okay, back to skills. Now, for you, as a beginner, under your passives, you're definitely going to want Galvanizing Ward. As long as you have not taken damage within the last 5 seconds, you gain a protective shield that absorbs the next 60% of your life in damage. So it's a 60% of whatever your life percentage is. Shield that takes, protects you. Next, you're definitely going to want Evocation. Right? Reduce all cooldowns by 20%. So cooldown reduction, good thing, because then way you can fire all your spells faster. And it gives you more damage because you're Captain Crimson's, 20% more damage. Right? The next passive you're going to want is Audacity. You deal 30% additional damage to enemies within 15 yards. And one of the things with this build is because of the explosive blast doing damage, you want to be right in the bad guy's face, right in the monster's faces, right? So this, although Wizard is generally a glass cannon, this build is built really tanky, and you get right up in the face of the bad guys, right? And just take it to them. So you want to have as much damage reduction as you can get, and parse that with damage. I mean, it's a back and forth fight, but if you're dying too easy, add more damage reduction. If you're not killing them fast enough but staying alive, add more resource reduction for more damage and add more damage creators. Now, Unwavering Will. Now this is one you can use, right? It's pretty good. Standing still for 1.5 seconds increases the following attributes: armor by 20%, all resistance by 20%, and damage by 10%, which is, that's nice little. It's good. But early on in the game, if you're having problems keeping your resource up, right? You can select Astral Presence. Increase your maximum arcane power by 20 and arcane power regeneration by 2.5 arcane per second. Right? So early in the game, I would suggest that. If you get to that point where you're keeping your arcane up really good and you're not dying a lot and you need to and you're not killing stuff quite fast enough, you can go get your Unwavering Will. And I think I've gone over the cube. Oh, I haven't gone over why the Orb of Infinite Depth is very important to this build. Each time you hit an enemy with your Explosive Blast, right? So that, which goes in blasts of 3 or 4. Each time you hit an enemy with the Explosive Blast, the damage you do, is increased by 10%, right? And your damage reduction, how much damage you take, is reduced by 20% for 6 seconds, right? This effect can stack up to 4 times. That means you can get, it'll show on your Explosive Blast down there where it says A. It'll have a little 4, or 2, 3, 4, how many times you've hit an enemy with it, how many stacks you have. So at 4 stacks, That means you're getting 40% extra damage, and 2, 4, 6, 8. 80% damage reduction. Right? So again, this is a really tanky build. So you're getting 80% damage reduction there. You're getting 60% damage reduction there. Right? And if you have Unwavering Will, there's another 10% damage reduction. To the Halo of Carini, gives you another 65% damage reduction. The build itself gives you 80% damage reduction. See, so it's pretty tanky. Right? Now, let's go over, again, our legendary gems, which you get from doing GRs. You're going to want Bane of the Stricken, Bane of the Trapped, right? Increase damage against enemies under the effect of mind-impairing effects by 15%. And that's at 0, like rank 0. Mind-impairing effects are like anything that slows their movement, stuns them, anything like that, right? CC. Right? Any crowd control effects, basically. Okay, Taeguk is the next one, because Taeguk, the gem Taeguk, is meant specifically for channeling skills, right? Like the Disintegrate Ray, or Tempest Rush on the Monk, or Whirlwind on the Barbarian, right? And if you're running a channeling build and somebody tells you not to use Taeguk, tell them to piss off, right? So right away, gain 2% increased damage for 1.5 seconds when you spend resource on a channeling skill. This effect stacks 10 times. That's 20% damage immediately. And when we get this gem to 25, then we're going to get another like 80% damage reduction out of Taeguk. And I'll show you as that'll be the next thing we do, is we're going to go start running greater rifts and level up these gems. As soon as we're done with our little tutorial on gear and skills, which I think we are pretty much done with. So, now we've gone over how to get a Death Wish, how to get an Orb of Infinite Wisdom, right? And the Herbrash's Binding, Ring of Royal Grandeur. Like, I'm just not going to run a bunch of bounties to get one to drop. I mean, I'm just not for this tutorial, but you know what I'm talking about. If you've got one or you don't, if you don't, run Act 1, Act 4 bounties. If you have a 4-man crew where everybody can be in their own different act, run all 5 of the acts every time, because you're going to need all those bounties, right? And if everybody can run T16, the better, because the higher the Torment Rift, the more of those bounty masks that drop in your Herodic cache. Like, I think a Torment 1 is 6, and anything below Torment 1 is like 3 or 5, right? I'm not sure. But a T16 is like 21 or 22 bounty mats per drop, right? And on top of that, you get a lot more gold, you get a lot more gems, more Death Breath drop, you get a lot more XP, right, by running on higher torments, and with more people in the lobby, then there's a multiplier on the experience you get, right? I'm sure you're all aware of that. So, we are at that point. I think I've gone over everything. Why we're wearing all this. Oh, we didn't quite finish. Now, I'm sure you're not going to be able to do all these augments that I'm doing every time. Intelligence, Ray of Frost. Okay, let's see. Let's go if I can get anything like cooldown. If I can put cooldown on something, I'm going to put cooldown. Or if I can, without losing the intelligence, vitality, or the life. Those are the 3 stats you basically want on Firebird's Plume. And you can go to maxroll.gg and look up their builds there. Maxroll is awesome because they lay out a paper doll. It looks like a paper doll, just like when you're playing on PC. And you can tap each piece of gear. And it'll expand that piece of gear. And you can do this on your phone really easy. It'll expand that piece of gear and give you all the stats you need on that gear for the build. Now, do keep in mind, maxroll.gg is designed for people who play PC, not people who play console. So it's good to talk to people who are playing console to help you with the little... There's just small little changes, like the Gale for like the energy twister instead of mirror images on this build, right? And so that changes some of the stats you're going to want to roll. Okay, now we're looking. Okay, nothing on there I want. Physical resistance. Okay, and experience skill. Nothing I really want there. Ray of Frost. Life armor. Ooh, look at that. Critical hit chance. We can always use more of that, can't we? So let's see if we can get some critical hit chance on this. Oh, 4.5 right off the bat. Sweet. That tops out at 6. I'm only going to give this a few rolls. Now I got it, you know. I'm not keeping this gear, but I'm using it for the tutorial. But I always get carried away too. Okay, 5.5. That's really good. Okay. Let's see. Intelligence, vitality. I think you want intelligence, life, and armor is what the stats you want on this build. And a better piece would probably have come with all 3 of those already. So let's look. Let's see. Thorns damage. If there's anything I really want there, of course that's always just a shit stat. Poison resistance. Some alright stuff in there, but not really. Nothing I would change it for. Here we go. Black hole damage again. Let's see. We have life. We have armor. Explosive blast damage, so stuff like that. The vitality. We can change for life, armor, life per second. Intelligence again, life, armor, life per second. So let's go to this black hole damage. Let's see if we can get... So we've already got intelligence and vitality. Let's see if we can get some armor. And we have a range of 559 to 595 on that armor. Let's see if we can get some. Kind of a long list. Oh, there we go. And that's already the base. 573. Yeah, we'll call that good. Okay, our next piece. Critical hit chance. Fire damage. Had to roll a socket, so there we go. Life, poison damage. Reduced resource cost. Intelligence would be really nice to have on this. Intelligence or resource reduction. Area damage. I'm going to get that off, even though it's kind of needed for the build because your twisters and your explosive blasts are basically area damage. Yeah, too much of it legs everything else. So we can get cooldowns right away on this intelligence. And later on, like if it's a better piece, you can add intelligence by augmenting. And I'll probably go over that later. Or if I happen to pick up an ancient piece, I'll go over it. But let's go for that cooldown reduction. Because that's going to give us damage. And it allows to... And I'm sure it's probably not as much damage as intelligence is going to give us. But that cooldown is important to this build. You got to get that explosive blast going. You just do. Oof. Cooldown 6%. Our max on it is 8. I think I'm just going to keep it at 6. Oh, there we go. There's 7. Do one more. Okay. Let's move to our gloves. We have intelligence. Oh, look at that. Oh, resource cooldown. That's armor. Let's see if we can get our other cooldown on any of these. No, we're not getting rid of crit hit chance. We're not getting rid of critical hit damage. We're not getting rid of intelligence. You definitely want those on there, right? Resource, reduce cooldowns. I mean, we're not changing that either. I mean, we're just not. We might try and get a little higher, but that's a pretty good piece for being non-ancient. It really is. And we can either shoot for the 8% cooldown, or we can go for 100% critical hit damage. I haven't really put a lot of this on here yet, so let's get a little extra crit hit down if we can. 37. What are you, crazy? I think it tops out at, oh, my luck probably tops out at 50, and I done messed this up. It does. It tops out at 50. So it was almost max. I should have rolled for more cooldown reduction. Oh, well. And we've already rolled that one. Intelligence, vitality, life armor. There's not a whole lot you can roll for on these items that you craft. I mean, they're pretty limited. Right? And it's got pretty much the stats you need. Intelligence, vitality, life, and armor. Maybe some cooldown if you can work it in there without pissing any of those off. No, not really. Okay, so it's what we are going to do. That's 500. I mean, armor tops at 397. And already 300 poison resistance. Oh, that's, I mean, let's not waste anything on that one. Let's go with our Firebirds. Intelligence armor, some vitality would be nice, or cooldown. Vitality. Not going to roll off the armor. Armor is probably already pretty high. And intelligence is a little low. But not bad. So let's roll this off for vitality. There we go. That'll do. And our boots. Intelligence, vitality, resist all. Let's see what we can. Experience. No, nothing good there. Nothing really good there. Movement speed, armor, life per second. I mean, energy twister, disintegrate maybe, but tops at 100. Okay, let's see. Whoops. I guess we'll roll, see if we can get some armor on this. I mean, movement speed isn't bad. It does. There we go. There's some armor. Okay. Rings. We had to roll that first socket, so we're done there. We haven't rolled this for anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to look for probably on here, this vitality. We need crit hit chance or crit hit dam. There's crit dam, crit chance also. We want that crit chance. So we're going to roll this life per hit off. Try and get some crit chance on this. Now again, like I said, I know you're probably not going to be able to do this all right away in the build, right? You're just not. You're going to have to work on it. But I'm just, showing you things you can improve to make the build better while you're trying to get ancient pieces you can augment with. There we go. There's a little bit more crit hit chance. Now, let's roll on over. I mean, it's not bad. We're up to 700,000 damage, not quite 1 million yet. And these are all just kind of crappy, nothing ancient. Gems are really low. We're going to go bring them up to 25. No Paragon rolled in. So to get them to 25, we are going to have to run 35s. Because, again, you need to be 10 above. And I'll show you when I get there what I mean by that. Because if you want to get it to 25 with a 100% chance of... I went right by it, didn't it? With a 100% chance of upgrading that gem, and I should have empowered this. Oh well. So, right away, you get in here. You want to hit your Y button, turn on your magic weapon, hit your RB to turn on your storm armor, and then hold down your trigger, hold down your A. Now these guys are just going to melt before me. Promise of Glory, that's double damage. It's called double D. Greatly increases your attack, and it does like a lightning attack to guys around you. And you can build up to like 2 or 3 minutes of it. So you always want somebody, like if you're running with a support character, their job is going to be to pick those up. And they will be wearing a piece of gear that causes more of them to drop, right? So already here we are. We're just walking through this 35 like nothing. And I forgot to look and see. It's going to be the equivalent of Torment 3 or 4, I think, 2, 3, or 4. So you can be pretty confident this is already a T16 build. I could probably, even without my gens being leveled up, go out and start running T16 bounties and Nephilim rifts to get my keys and such. We can test that theory here in a minute too. As soon as we finish this rift, we'll go see if we can kill some monsters on T16 without having any gems really leveled up or anything. We'll have one leveled up. Okay, back this way. And it won't even be leveled up. It'll just have a 5. It'll have five upgrades out of possible 150. Let's see again, like my arcane globe over there isn't hardly moving. And you can tell as I'm going here, and I'm just hitting the tornadoes once in a while to when I come up against the elites, to kill the elites. Right? Just dump into them. See, and once you start using those tornadoes, it burns it up pretty quick. So you need a lot of that, a lot of critical hit. Because remember, the more critical hits you get, the more arcane it generates into the build. So as you build the build, keep your eye out for adding crit hit damage. Or crit hit chance. 5, 6%, 10%, whatever. Everywhere you can. If you can add it, add it. Because, let's see. We had to roll for socket. So, that's got 4.5 on it already. That's got 4.5. That has 10. Right? None on that. Because we decided to roll for... Oh, and I don't think we can... No, you can get it on this, I think. I don't remember. Anyways. None on that piece. Just crit down, no crit hit. Chance, right? But still, we're going through this pretty quickly. Oh, now we can lay on. That was a channeling pylon, so it allows us unlimited channeling resources, which is unlimited arcane and a massive amount of cooldown. As you can tell by how fast that arcane blast is going. There we go. There's one. I'm going to talk to Urshi really quick. And we're going to start leveling up the Taeguk first, right? And you can see we're getting more damage each time. And then again, at the 25, you gain the 2% stacked. And then get out of here. I forgot what was it. Oh, going to verify that just right here, with no Paragon and no legendary gems, and I mean, just any of the soul shards. If you get any soul shards at all, put them in there. Put in, if they're going to help. They're going to help. They're going to, because of all the extra perks on it, besides the legendary fixes, you're going to do a lot of damage. Okay, now let's just pop out. Let's go to the Southern Highlands real quick. Royal Crypt. Right? So, do full third, and we are on T16. Get our teleport stacks built up. Now see, now I'm actually holding down the tornadoes too, and you can see I'm not going through it quite as fast because everything's not dying. I'm not absolutely one-shotting everything. So it gets a few hits on it before it goes. Still, if you run out of guys to kill, that arcane goes really fast. Oh, and I still need to go over the gear you want on your follower. And I guess that depends. If you play with people a lot, your follower's not going to be there, but I'll go over it after this. And then we'll go back to leveling those gems to 25, and we'll see where we can get with this build with no Paragon and just level 25 gems, right? Talk to this guy. He takes all day to decide. He's like me. He's an old man. Takes him a while to get out of his chair. I can hear him right now going, "Oh, my back. Oh, jeez. What do you punks want? Oh, God. That's it. I'm going to hit you with this big hammer." Well. Oh, and see? Look at that. He dropped us a soul shard. And this is one way you can farm these soul shards, is all the bosses drop soul shards. And this guy even dropped us an Essence of Anguish. Right? And like I said, the consumables, the Hellforge Embers that you use to upgrade those shards, they drop at a rate 3 times that of Ramadala Ding Dongs, right? So just go out and start doing bounties, start running rifts, and running, say, GR90 or GR100 over and over and over. Run 3, clear out. Run 3, clear out. Don't spend a lot of time in town. The more time you spend in town, the less materials you get. Like, see, all this stuff is going right in. Convention of Elements. That one's not bad. It comes with a socket and 5% crit dam. You could roll the intelligence off. Oh, no, roll off the damage for crit dam, because you got 5.5 crit hit already. And that would be a decent Convention of Elements for your build later on, because you will be changing some of the stats of some of the gear. That would be a good ring for later. Okay, do some gambling. I got only 200. All right, so your follower, right? Now, on this follower, I have the Leonine Bow of Hashia, right? And that's just the best bow I've come across so far. Whoops, almost dropped my controller. Adjusting my headset. What a clumsy fool. All right. Now, they recommend, I believe, at Max Roll and other places, that the first bow you get for him that you want to use is Unbound Bolt, right? Or Sidru, whatever that is, right? So that'll be the first one you put on them when you're putting them together, right? And then next you want Spalders of Zakharah, right? Your items become indestructible. So all your gear, you don't have to repair it after each rift all the time. And as you can see, it emanates, and it emanates from your follower to you. So Excuse me a moment. I must let my doggy dog out. All right. So, next piece of gear you want on your follower, gold skin. Right? Chance for enemies to drop gold, so you can be farming gold. Now they have different things you want to put on them for pushing, right? And I don't, you can get some extra damage out of them, but I don't know if it's quite enough to worry about it. Now, generally, you would like this to have some sockets on it, so you could put green gems, dexterity gems, because your scoundrel works off dexterity. So you want pieces with dexterity on it. So you're going to want to do that, you'll have to make a character whose main attribute is dexterity, like the demon hunter or the monk, to make your gear for this guy if you want it to have all that on it. Otherwise, just get sockets on it and put your emeralds in it. Right? Next, you want broken crown. Whenever a gem drops, the gem type socket into your helm also drops. This effect does not apply to legendary gems like the soul shard you're wearing. So, like if you're farming, you would just put like a green gem in your helm instead of like I have a topaz for cooldown reduction. So you get extra gold from monsters, and then because of this, you'll get 2 gems every time a gem drops. Right? You'll get whatever gem dropped, and then you'll get a green one because you got a green one in your helm. Next on them, you want the flavor of time. Pylon effects last twice as long. So when you're in a greater rift like I just was, and you hit one of those big yellow pylons, whatever the effect is, whether it's a channeling pylon, whether it's conduit where you put off the electricity, whether it's a speed up pylon, or a shield pylon, right? That's going to last twice as long. Instead of like 2 minutes, is 4 minutes. Nemesis bracers. Shrines and pylons will spawn an enemy champion, a big yellow monster, right? Because when you're farming and you're doing Nephilim rifts, those yellow monsters drop death breath, right? If you're farming bounties, right? Or Nephilim rifts. And also in Nephilim rifts and GRs, champions drop your progression globes, the purple and the red globes you use to advance your progression bar. More champions means faster times. You get them done faster. You can stay out of time and stay in a rift and get more stuff in a shorter amount of time. Right? Next, you want an Oculus ring on him. He's going to drop a yellow ring. Oh, that's not it. There we go. He's going to drop a yellow ring on the ground that when you're standing in it, you get 84% extra damage while you're standing in it. Next, you're going to want Ring of Royal Grandeur, right? Because you're going to have some sets you can craft at the blacksmith on them. Next, your scoundrel is going to need the skeleton key, and you want the affix, your follower cannot die, right? Because they're weak. They die all the time in other risks. And you want to be able to get the bonuses you've equipped to your follower all the time, so you don't want them dead, right? Next, Sage's Passage boots. Now, you can craft these at the blacksmith, right? And the big thing on it is a 3-set bonus. Double the amount of death breath drop, right? So anytime you kill a champion monster, you, instead of 4 death breath, you get 8. So it's just a farming tool. And then Cain's Habit, right? I usually wear the gloves when I'm doing Nephilim rifts. Cain's gloves, I have these on right now. Shrine effects last for 10 minutes. So the little shrines, not the big pylons like in the wrist, but the little shrines that you normally see when you're doing bounties. Those last 10 minutes. So you can stack like 3-4 of those. If you're really out there and you're going and you're getting bounty after bounty, you can stack 3 to 5 of those on top of each other, right? And you're getting all those different bonuses from all those shrines, right? Okay, but if I'm running Nephilim rifts, I put the Cadence Scribe gloves on, because the 3-set bonus on that is when a greater rift key drops, there is a 25% chance for an extra one to drop. So 4 of those keys drop, 4 or 5 normally, drop in your greater rift. So that's almost 100% chance that you're going to get 5 per rift, which means you just get more of them done and get more keys so you can run more greater rifts. It's just a good way to farm those keys. And and there's a chance 25% chance each one of those could drop one. So you could actually end up with 6 or 8 rift keys at the end of a rift. I'm a talking fool today. Next on this guy. Oh, Sage's Ribbon, weapon. Oh, now, generally for his skills, at level 70, you get 4 skills to choose from. 2 on each one, right? I usually just right here, I just go Crippling Shot, because it's only a 4-second cooldown versus an 8-second, right? And yeah, that ranks more damage, but this fires more often, right? Ranged attack deals 100% weapon or 140% weapon damage and slows the enemies. So if the enemies are slowed, they're taking more damage from me because of the way my set is set up, right? Slows enemies hit by 80%, slows them by 80% for almost 6 seconds based on the scoundrel's dexterity. So again, the more dexterity you put in them, the higher some of these green numbers are going to be, right? And I think like this one, the critical hit chance caps out at 4 if you put a bunch of dexterity in them. So you get 4 extra critical hit damage for you and the scoundrel when you have anatomy. God, I keep just... The other one, hysteria, right? But going to hysterics, that's dumb, right? So that. Better crit hit chance. Again, the build runs on crit hits. On this one, I generally go with multi-shot instead of piercing shot because that's 20 seconds. That's only 8 seconds. Again, so he's just putting more shots out there and he's not doing a lot of damage. So I'm getting the effects of this more often. And then the one on this, why I don't use Vanish, I use Knight's Veil. Has a cooldown of 30 seconds, right? And this end, right, by putting things with cooldown on it, on his gear, and putting a diamond in his helm, I reduce his cooldowns, right? So it's probably less than 30 seconds. The Scoundrel launches a cloud that covers 20-yard area that lasts 4 seconds, almost 4 seconds. Based on the Scoundrel's dexterity, all attacks against enemies that are inside the cloud, any enemy inside that cloud, will take a critical hit from every attack you put on them. So if every attack is a critical hit, you're getting a 3 arcane return for each attack, which helps you keep your arcane level, the big purple globe, from not running out. So now we already know this build is T16 viable. We went and took out the Skeleton King fairly easily, right? And this is just a shit build, right? Just don't even have anything leveled up yet. Got over skills, got over follower. So now what we're going to do is, this is all basic stuff you can have done. Excuse me. We're going to finish leveling our legendary gems to 25, and then we're going to see what we can push. Right, so let's go back to this GR35, empower it. Empowering it costs gold. When you empower it, you get 1 extra chance to upgrade a gem. Even, so you get 5. If you don't die, you will automatically get 4. If you empower, you get 5 chances. This is a long video. Okay. Y, magic weapon. RB. Get our stacks built and start teleporting. I don't like this rift. The spaghetti rift. Where those guys come from? Anyways, move on. Oh, good. I think this is the way out of this rift, too. This is a good chance to see Nephilim's Glory. See, I've got 2 minutes of it stacked up by picking up as many of the yellow globes as I see when I go by them. That's double damage. So when I get to the end of the rift and the Rift Guardian drops and I don't have any more trash mob to kill to pick more of those up, I've got 2 minutes of it to kill the Rift Guardian with. Now on the higher rifts, you're not going to be that lucky as to have that much of it, right? And generally, at the end of each rift, you see where I've got 30 kills built up. Oh, shoot. Go. Look at the map. Go which way. Teleporting around on these skinnier maps is a pain in the butt. You're always hung up on the architecture. You'll see me flash like I'm trying to teleport, and then I can't move. I'm like hung up on a little brick or something, one of those little things sticking out. I can teleport through walls, right? But I can't teleport through that little thing sticking out right there. It's kind of ridiculous. I call it getting hung up on the architecture. Like, you know, so it sounds something an intelligent person would say, right? Someone who's sophisticated. I'm hung up on the architecture. Oh, I'm so hung up on the architecture of this building. Oh, it's simply beautiful. Probably should have leveled these up, used my monk. It'd have been a lot faster. But I also wanted to show you how powerful this build was without anything, right? Come on, go away, Urshi. The dog wants back in again. I love my little doggy girl, but she's a pain. See what we got. We got 10. And, I can run a couple more, I think, before I have to clear out. Oh, knocking stuff all over the place here. I have to pause for a second here. I'll be right back. I have returned. Okay, so jump right in there and do another one of these. Let's get these gems leveled up. Again, don't forget your magic weapon and your storm armor. I'm holding the tornadoes down too much. The Benefit of the Nemi bracers. See that? I get that extra champion every time. Next floor. Spaghetti. I hate this floor. So hard to teleport around on this thing. Got to keep an eye on your mini map, monsters where you're going. You just get stuck so easy. You can't just head in a general direction, right? Like you can with the more open maps. Oh yeah, get out of here. Now this one isn't quite as bad. It's still got some thinner areas, but they're all pretty straight. They don't bend, and you know, they have nice corners. You can shoot straight down the lane. Channeling pylon. Now I can just lay on everything after I pick those up. Lay on everything. Whoa. Oh yeah. Come here, Dumbledore. You're dead. Okay, so we got a soul shard in our pile here. Again, I got room. And since I have, again, the Spalders of Zakra, and my gear doesn't take any damage, I don't have to worry about repairing in between every rift. Right? It's just kind of a nice thing. I always look here on this little bump out. They like to hide pylons there and champion mobs. Channeling pylon. Not a very good floor either. Look at this long stretch, no monsters. That's bullpucky. That ends in a timed event. Gotta love that. Kind of irritating. I guess he's part of the challenge. Yeah. Doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Back to being Grumpy Dad. Darth Grumpy Dad. Oh, what is this? Why do they gotta do this? Oh, Jesus. This is so stupid. I don't know. Oh. Out of my channeling pylon. That's okay. Oh, geez. This video is already pretty long. But it's got a lot of good stuff in it, hopefully. Um, 730, 22. I can hold up to 1930. I think max is 2,000 blood shards, right? And the higher GR you do, the higher that is. I think somebody was telling me someone has to do with how high your Paragon is. But like I said, I think it has to do with how high you've been in. Oop, guess what I forgot? Forgot Magic Weapon and Halo of Creed, or Storm Armor. Globes, globes, globes. I probably don't have to worry about getting damaged as much as I am. I'm used to being in higher risks where everything can kill you. Right? If you're not paying attention. Look at all that. Look at all that. Look at it. Just look at that. Oh, just look at that. Oh my. And the way out. Aha, this is a good floor right here. Nice of them to give me that champion right in the door. Ooh, shield pylon. Not that I need it, I know, but still. It's amazing, like on the higher risk, how much just being able to stand in there and not worry about damage and attack a monster for an extra couple seconds, right? Like, adds to you getting how much time you can take off, especially if you got a good group of champions and elites around you, and you don't have to run away from them. There's the door, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get this on this floor. I'm going to look around. I'm sure there's another. There we go. And when you're in a rift, you want to get these guys, if you can, pinned against something like the side over here, right? So your tornadoes can bounce off of them, and you can hit them multiple times. Like, I'll show you later on as I push a higher rift with this build. This is going to be a long broadcast, I have the feeling. Feel free to fast forward while I'm leveling these gems. It doesn't matter to me because it's going to take me the same amount of time either way. You just don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Oops. Pause for a second. This is a good, nice open rift too. It's got a couple good spots, like this spot right in here, where if you can get your Rift Guardian to follow you into one of these, makes it a lot easier to kill them if they're not running all over the place. I was hoping there was a pylon down there. Doodly-doo, here we go, here we go. Get it. Get it, get it, get it. Get some, get some. Darth Grumpy Dad and his his lightsaber of death. The 25-foot lightsaber of doom. Whoa. Yeah, that's pretty campy. At least there was some mobs at the end of that dead end down there. Oop. Right on. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's identify. Let's drop our gems off. Oh, look at that right there. See? All we'd have to roll is some crit hit chance on that. Or crit down. That'd probably be better. One new piece already. See, once you're playing regularly, I mean. See, so that's got better intelligence, better crit hit. And we can go roll for some crit hit down. And change it out. No crit damn. Yeah, it's going to be on the vitality. Oh, and it already has 5% cooldown on it also. So that's extra damage. $38 of 50. $41 of 50. Yeah, we'll call that good. See, now we already got a piece. It's one green thing up all the way. Let's see what our damage goes up to. Ooh, nice. Guess that doesn't show, what you can push with a build with none of it. But, oh, I think I just jumped into a really stupid high rift. Nope, okay, good deal. I thought I was just really stupid. Jumped in like a 140 or something. And also too, you know, different monsters give you a different rate of progression in these rifts. Like the Fallen or the Risen don't give you very good progression. The summoned wizards and stuff like that turn into demons, those winged assassins. Most of the larger monsters give you better progression. But yeah, if you're in that rift and it's all fallen and you're trying to push a higher rift, don't bother. Just keep going. Just leave that stuff. Hunt for your elites. Hunt for champions, and don't bother killing the trash because you ain't getting nothing out of it. Maybe some double D every once in a while. That's it. It's not going to be like, you know, you're getting a lot of progression out of them. Okay, get out of here. Next floor. Got to gamble. Now here's a good place you can get crafting supplies, right? Now I'm gambling for necklaces because you can always, you know, I just always need a better Traveler's Pledge or a better Squirts necklace on various builds. So I tend to gamble for necklaces. But early on, gamble for the stuff that's only 25, right? You don't have very good Firebird's Breast. Gamble for those, because then you can come over here and all the yellow stuff, right? That's just extra crafty. Anything that comes back legendary, you don't need extra lost souls, right? Rolling its primal comes with a crit, some intelligence. You can probably use it on some build, but other than that, it's kind of a shit piece. So we'll get some lost souls out of that. Okay, might as well. While I'm here, clear back out again. Because I forgot to gamble on my last round. I think the one I have is already a little better. So. Yeah, I should have taken the time to level these to 25. Do a set at 25, then have another set just at 0 to... But we know, at 0, just the plain set with no legendary gems is going to run you T16, which is going to get you Greater Rift 70, 75, maybe to 90. All right? Yes. And you'll probably be doing all this at those levels, at like, 65 or whatever. But if you've been splintering off while you're getting your gear, working on getting your gear from running Nephilim's Rifts and Bounties, while you've been getting your gear together to run T16, there's a good chance you could have had your gems already, and had them leveled up, but I don't know that. I don't know that. So, we're doing this. We get a watch. It is kind of nice just seeing everything die before me, though. I mean, even without any Paragon in, crap gear, gems are all low level, and just rolling some things on the gear, right? These soul shards are just that powerful for seasonal. And since they drop from all the boss monsters, it's not too hard to get ones to put in your... And, probably spent a lot of time already running bounties and stuff. Should have had at least 3 embers. Could have leveled one up. And even if it didn't have everything you wanted on it, a level 3 soul shard is devastating. There's another one. See, so town is lava, right? I spent a lot of time in town explaining the build and getting it put together, showing you some of the ins and outs of it. But see, as soon as I get out, get into the rifts, start running a lot of rifts, gems start dropping, legendaries start dropping, ancients start dropping. Which, by the way, it reminds me, you're not going to get primal like that red primal I got. And I'm not even sure if you'll get ancients unless you've run a solo 70 Greater Rift and a solo 90 Greater Rift. I mean, yeah, I'll have to double check which one it is. But I'm pretty sure it's a solo 70 for your ancients, solo 90 for your primals. And the first... Maybe it's just a 70 for both of them. But whichever it is, whether it's the 70 or the 90, the first time you run one of those, the game will automatically drop you a primal at the end of that first run with your first seasonal character. Right? So it's not going to do it with your second, third seasonal character to get to 70. It'll be your first seasonal character that does a solo 70 will drop a primal. Now, the chances that's a good primal for your build, probably not so good. But it's a primal. Like I said, I went with this build for the Traveler's Pledge, Compass Rose, so I could use Halo, Carini, Storm Armor. I mean, it's a little simpler build to run because you only need to hold the trigger button down, the A button, rock your finger over to the teleport, and then once in a while reach over and lay your finger on the tornado button, right? And if you're not using a lot of tornadoes, even without a lot of critical hit chance, you have plenty of arcane to kill stuff with your disintegrate ring and your disintegration ray and your explosive blast. Shield in the corner again. Pylons, they like to hide pylons right here in this little spot. Ooh, and bonus. Now that we have an ancient piece, I can show you how to augment later too. Oh, kill, 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 die, die, die. And there's another soul shard. Alrighty. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Got quiet all of a sudden. I did. Trying to concentrate on just getting these done so we can get to pushing. See how far we can get today with this build. I just, all right, guys. I am going to have to take a break for a minute here. Leave you guys on pause for a minute. I apologize, but I will be back in about 5 or 10 to continue leveling the gems and we'll push this build. Okay, I'm back. Go again. Now, for those you watching, you don't have to watch me level all these gems. You can fast forward in the video. That's all right. You're still getting the base of what needs to be done. And a good reason, by the way, to do lower GRs is it costs a lot less gold to empower lower GRs. So as you're leveling your legendary gems, you don't need to spend quite so much gold, right? And later I'll post a video on the farm build for the wizard so you can get more gold and death breath and such when you're farming in a group. Oh, where am I going? This way, to the door. I kind of went over some of that already with the follower. How you farm those extra materials with your follower. I'll do one also after this on a group farm build, because this wizard is so OP. You can actually, as long as you have the 6 set bonus going, you can change out your Captain's Crimson set for a Sage's set and a Cane set, or a Cane set to farm with. Which way is going to be faster way around? And generally, you'll get about 4 pylons per greater rift. And you'll get them at about a quarter, half, and 3/4 of the way through the rift. And some of the rifts make it easier to find your pylons than other rifts, right? Like the ones that are more laid out in a nice square shape, you're going to be able to find them. The ones that are twisty-turny, look like spaghetti, it's much harder to find your pylons in the rift. And it takes away from how long or how fast you can do that rift. Again. Magic weapon, hit your magic weapon, and your storm armor right away. You know, like that right there, I had to kind of look around for that pylon. They gave me lots of monsters right in one area. That was cool. Get all them grapes picked up and move on. Corvus. This again isn't a very good floor because it's got lots of doors you have to open. Lots of twists, lots of turns. Oh, 2 hours on this. Oh, I got one person watching apparently. Cool. Well, thank you to whoever's watching. I think I can look and see who's watching. Maybe not. I don't know. Two viewers. Huh. Well, thanks for watching. We only got a couple more of these to do, and then our gems will be at 25, and then we'll see what we can get out of this build with minimums. If you just come into this broadcast, I'm just building a quick Firebirds build, not putting any Paragon in it, using all just basic legendary items. Although I did find one ancient Firebirds gloves that I did equip because they were better. And that'll work out because then later I can show how to augment your ancient items. As soon as we get these gems leveled to 25. Come on. That's one thing about teleport. Whoops. Oh, that was the way out. Jeez Louise. It can be hard to navigate around the tile sets. I'm getting anxious to get these done so I can push a little with this build. And I messed up and forgot to empower one of the rifts, so My take gook's only going to be at 24. I'm going to have to run more to get it to 25. And that's a good spot to clear out. Compass Rose, you can save that for re-rolling later. Don't need Dragonflies, don't need Fragmented Destruction for this build, so I'm going to salvage them and get the extra gems out of them. Puzzle Ring, I'll save that, and I'll run through a Puzzle Ring later, maybe. Because the Puzzle Ring is an excellent place to get materials and gold. Very excellent place, especially if you have a farm build on. So used to looking to see if I've gotten any more Paragon to add, but I'm not adding any Paragon to this build. There we go. Next floor. When you're running in groups and you've got a 4-man going, you're generally going to have somebody out in the front looking for elite packs and pylons and such. And there's going to be a lot of communication going on there. They're going to be telling you, your wizard generally is going to be the main DPS, the damage per second creator. And then you're going to have some support characters and whatnot. But they're going to be telling you, okay, I've E-Pack on me, channeling pylon, shield pylon, whatever. And then you'll all coordinate with each other to clear the rift. I'm sure at some point I'll be on with a group and we'll go over that. But at this point, I'm not even sure that I'm showing online. Should pause to check. Yeah, I'm appearing online, so people may join me, they may not. I'm pretty sure. Well, I can't look in here. Pretty sure I have set to friends can join, friends only. Which this is a much more enjoyable game when you get a group of people to run with and chat with. I really do suggest getting a decent headset. I highly suggest that you hardwire your Xbox to your router with an Ethernet cable. It just lays a lot more and gets smoother play, shorter download screens, makes your gaming experience better. Go into your router, make sure your NAT is set to open on your router. That's going to help. Go into settings every once in a while, and there's a place where you can clear your IP addresses, because you'll get a big stack of IP addresses from running with a bunch of people. And it's good to clear that out once in a while. That'll make your game run smoother. Again, right in. Town is lava. Town is lava. Go, go, go. Next floor. Dead end. Oop, there's a champion. There's the boss. There's the Rift Guardian. $25. All right, one more of these bad boys. And this will give me a chance to show you why you run 10 GRs above what you're trying to get your gems to. Like I'm trying to get these gems to 25, so I'm running a GR 35. Basically, if you're 10 GRs, you get a 100% chance to level your gem up once for being 10 GRs above what you're trying to level it to. And the closer you get to whatever GR you're running, the lower your chance of leveling that gem. And I'll show you how it drops here in a second, how quickly. And it'll only get as low as 60%, right up until you're at, like say I'm on a GR 35. If I'm trying to level my gem to 35, I'll have a 60% chance from about 27 or so, because at 26, I'll still have a 100% chance. Then it'll drop to 90, and then 80, and 60. It'll be 60 right up until you get 1 over. Then it'll drop drastically, your chance of leveling that gem. Alrighty. Oh, that was a good dead end. Nice champion, right hidden out there. Power pylon. And if you look at your mini map, you'll know which pylons are, because you see on my mini map, it's got a little sword over it. That means it's a power pylon. If it has a little lightning bolt, that's a conduit pylon. Channeling pylon looks like a dot with 2 half circles around it, kind of. Or two parentheses. Shield pylon, it looks like a shield. It's a shield. Speed up pylon is just like an arrow pointing to the left, or a parenthesis pointing to the left. Oh, where's he at? Now, usually if you wait, they'll come to you. There, see? There we go. Now we can see chance. I've got 100% chance. 25, 26, 100% chance. See now, to go to 27 drops to a 90. To go to 28 drops to an 80. So while you're leveling your gems, you want to get the most out of the gold you're spending. So you want to stay 10 above what you're trying to level the gem to. 10 greater rifts above what you're trying to level the gem to. Oh, I guess I didn't show that. I have this, the Bottomless Potion of Amplification equipped, and it's just a health potion that you can use every 60 seconds or 30 seconds. Increases healing from all sources by 24% for 5 seconds. Right, so you hit it and you instantly get 60% of your life back, and then 24% of all your life generation added to you, right? Another Halo of Creamy. Whoops. Let's get rid of some more here. There we go. So, now we have our gems at 25. So we're getting that secondary attack, right? Which on the Bane of the Stricken, it gain 25% increased damage against bosses and Rift Guardians, which is a big deal. 25%, right? And on Bane of the Trapped, my secondary effect I get at 25, gain an aura that reduces the movement speed of enemies by 30% within 15 yards. So that automatically puts a control effect on enemies within 15 yards, which gives me that 22% extra damage to every enemy that's affected by CC. And then my Taeguk, which once again is you run Taeguk on every build that you're using a channeling skill on, right? Now at 25, you get 3.12% increased damage for 1.5 seconds. When you spend resource on a channeling skill, this effect stacks up to 10 times. So it's 30% damage. Right, gain 20% or 2% increased armor for every stack. So that comes out times 10, it's 20% damage reduction or increased armor. Now, when you're channeling, you can see, like the third one in is they Taeguk. And you can see it's stacking up to 10 over there. And it just stays at 10. It doesn't. Now, having Herbrash's binding on can overload your Taeguk, right? So every time I fire a tornado, it'll reset it sometimes. No, it's the explosive blast resets it. So that's a downside of Herbrash's binding, right? But you have this. And then we can double check that. Here, Taeguk. Increased damage, 2 seconds left. So, okay, they may have fixed that then. They may have fixed that. All right, so now it's time to push a little. Now, let's go to, now we already know we can do key 16, right? So we'll scroll down, greater riffs, key 16 is a GR75, so we already know we can run that. Now with this build, let's try a 90. Let's go up to 90. Magic weapon. Ooh, took some damage right away. Yeah, they're not dying right away, so we'll run this, and then we'll try it again with, say, Wrestler's Folly or Mantle of Challenge. That's what you use when you're pushing with this. Generally, it's Mantle of Challenge because you get 25% damage and 25% damage reduction. Still doing pretty good though. Still well ahead of the clock. And at this point, I'm just holding all my buttons down, right? All three of them. Trigger, A, and X, and rolling over and teleporting. Because there's enough enemies to where as soon as I start hitting a few enemies, I start building my arcane right again. Not as good as it would if I had more critical hit chance on the build, but still pretty good. I may occasionally run out, but not for very long. Get off those tornadoes for a second. Oh, looped around, go this way. So you're already pushing GR90s. I mean, with the basic build, like most of the stuff you would have gotten, all these pieces you would have gotten from Hadrig's Gift, right, for the Firebirds itself. And I showed you a couple of easy ways to get a Death Wish and an Orb of Infinite. Your Traveler's Pledge, Compass Rose and stuff. There's, you know, you can get it done. And it's taken me a couple hours to put it all together. Okay, now let's go over here. Let's change that herb rash binding to Wrestler's Folly. All right, damage of energy twister increased by 300%, and it periodically pulls in lesser enemies within 30 yards. So this is going to it's going to group guys up and bring them closer to me. So they're not all spread out. I'm not shooting everywhere all the time. See how it sucked them all into me? So now, that doesn't work so well with elites, right? With all these lesser monsters, it works pretty good. Now I'm holding all my buttons down, so I'm out of resource again. But as soon as I get in, boom, look how quickly it fills up again. As soon as I get into a pack and I hit my energy tornadoes. Gave me a bad floor here. Yeah, this should be the way out. Oh yeah, nice tight area. GR90 in 3 minutes, 22 seconds. Yeah, I got enough space to run one more. Let's bump this up to 100. Again, basic build, low gems, not a lot of extra on it. speed pylon. See how it looks like a little arrow pointing to the left? Okay, get out of here. Ooh, Vile Swarms. Really good for progression. As far as the trash mob goes, they're about the best. Vile Swarms and the little spiderlings. Oh, yeah. Dead end. Loop around. Okay, go this way. Oh, not a bad floor. Again, it makes it easy to, it's wide enough to teleport down. It makes it easy to group monsters up. Like you can stand in the corner, face the corner, and launch tornadoes out of things like this. I'm going to stand here in the corner, launch tornadoes, and he's going to come in and get smashed. Okay, and I'm going to go clear out, and then we're going to push up some more. That was 100, and I forgot to look how fast it was, but it was around 5 minutes. Let's see. Nope, I didn't catch it on my feed either when I rebroadcast. Oh, see, now we already got a Hellforge Ember. Another Shard of Hatred. I'll save it for now. I don't need it, but... Firebird, see? Start getting all kinds of goodies. Start pushing them graders. There's another 2 Death Wishes. So, that you could save and reforge, put sockets on and whatnot. But here's the thing with the one that we got from the recipe that I showed you earlier, where you take a level 1 character and you craft that Sovereign Tsunami blade and upgrade it and get your Death Wish. If you reforge the sword I'm wearing, right here, reforge legendary, pop it off here. I won't reforge it, but I will just to kind of show you, right? It costs 5 of each of your and 50 Forgotten Souls. So it'll cost you 130 of each of your 5 bounty mats and 1,350 Forgotten Souls. And you reforge this legendary item 27 times and it will come back primal. It'll be that primal sword I was wearing earlier. But since that's not the point, I just wanted to show you how to get your Death Wish, how to get some decent stuff on it, and start pushing. Okay, we're at 100. I didn't want to run the 100 again. I'm going to quit. All right, let's straight. We ran 100. Now let's see. $120 with basic gear with some minor rolls on it and lower level gems. Let's see what we get. How we do here. Ooh, not killing the monsters nearly as fast. Maybe I should have put on Untitled Chapter, but we'll see here. I'm going to face in this corner, see if I can draw the baddies into me. There we go. That's got us even with the clock again. Again, I'm gonna walk to this corner, face in the corner, let these guys egg roll themselves into me. And that's that. Here we go again, against the wall. My Raptor's Folly is going to suck everything in. I'm going to point at the wall. Again, point at the corner. See how that fire is just building up around me, the tornadoes, and as soon as anything comes into it, oh, don't like that. I'm going to pin this guy on the wall, though. Shielding bastards. Gonna move on. Not quite killing them fast enough. They'll follow me probably. Yep. But by having more mob monsters around me, remember, because of my gems, it gives me more damage. So I'm just gonna keep drawing these guys down where I have more monsters. Meteor save. Get out of there for a little minute. See if I can draw more monsters in to where I'm fighting. Oh. You get some orbs off that though. There's more progression orbs. Now we're ahead of the clock. Should get a pylon pretty soon after we're ahead of the clock. Ooh, there we go. There we go. It's a shield pylon, but that's all right too. I'm gonna go in this room, see if I can draw the crowd in here, kill it with fire. There we go. We're melting that guy now. There we go. There's orbs. Let's go see if we can find another mob. See if we can get some double D out of these guys real quick. So you got them all locked in that doorway there. Again, this nice little round area here is a good place to fill with fire. Take out the egg robes. Anyways, gotta keep moving. Let's see if I can find another mob. There's the door. Be a good floor. Not a good floor. I mean, it's alright. It's got nice little tight places where you can draw them into. There's some double D. There's a mob. A nice good spot. Ooh, there's another mob coming in. Good deal, good deal. Okay. I'm gonna have to move out a little to get these guys. And again, I'm gonna face against the wall here. Ground effects. Gosh darn it. There we go. There's our grapes. Moving on. See if we can get some double D right here again. Get out of all that poison. Keep moving. Let's see. No, another mob. Arcane. I'm going to have to kind of keep moving in here. Step back into that. Hockey circle. Pause for a second. Hey, what's up? Just finally figured out how to do that Twitch thing, and get it to save for 2 weeks, so I'm redoing the video I made on the wizard for Joey and those guys. Yeah, it's long though, but oh Jesus, I might play Diablo 2. I'll think about it. Yeah. Not much. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Ooh, melting this guy. He's trapped in the corner. He's just getting melted. All right. Oh, so you found some guys to play with that aren't going to leave you hanging? The loot mongers? Oh, geez. Dang. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, I got killed. And it's probably confusing people watching this because I'm pretty sure I have the chat muted. Right? So that I only have to worry about my language while I'm recording. Not anybody that drops in. Yeah, oh yeah. Yep. But yeah, I'm in at 120 right now with, oh, I'm getting it handed to me though by the butcher. I almost got him, man cover. I almost got him done. Wizard. Firebirds. Well, with basic gear, with gems only at like 25, 35 on the legendaries, just to show you can push with this build like right away. You know, there's a little work, but you can do it. Nah, well, it is my wizard, but I re-geared him for this. Right, I just started. Yeah. No, I just smoked this in like 3 minutes. Yeah, so the gems I'm wearing are the Bane of Trapped as well. Well, not too bad. Bane of the Trapped at 30, Bane of the Stricken 30, and a Teguk at 33. And I just beat a 120. None of my gear is ancient. One piece is ancient, but it's not augmented. I do have soul shards, but I figure they're going to have some soul shards of some sort, and just any of the bonuses they get off them are badass. So 12 minutes and 20 seconds to do a 120 with a poorly fitted out Firebirds. Using Traveler's Pledge, Compass Rose, Halo Carini, right? And like I said, this Death Wish that I showed you guys the recipe for, if you reforge it 27 times, you can get a primal one. You can get this one. Now, if I take the gem out of that and I compare, right, you can see it's a way, way better weapon. And you just reforge 27 times to get that primal Death Wish. And it'll be, as you can see, it's way more badass. And I've put a Intelligence 125 on it. And I will show you how to do that right now. Put this back in the chest. Make sure I have enough topaz. I'll just combine up 3, and you want them, you're going to need 3 of the flawless royal topaz. There's 1. 2. 3, right? Now I'm going to grab a soul shard. Oh, that stain right there, that'll work. That I already have on me. And I'm going to... It only takes 3, right? You grab your Hellforge Embers. And you upgrade 3 times to level 3. Now, and then the piece you're going to augment, you have to take off. You can't be wearing it to augment it. You go over here to the cube, to Cadence Cube, you scroll all the way to the bottom. Augment ancient item. So you can't do this with a regular legendary item. It has to be ancient or primal, right? And I'm going to put these Firebirds Fountains that we found while we were playing. And I'm going to take that Stain of Sin and 3 of the flawless royal topaz and augment. So you can see, I just added 625 intelligence to this Firebird's Talons with the Soul Shard. It's an instant rank 125. Now normally when you do that, you use your just regular legendary gems, right? Let's put it this way. Like this. If I use that Bane of the Powerful, it would be a rank 110. If I use that Bane of the Stricken, it would be a rank 122, right? And you can rank them all the way to 150. There's only like 4 of them you can't. Boon of the Hoarder stops at 50. Ice Blink stops at 50. Legacy Dream stops at 99. Esoteric, I believe, stops at 100. Esoteric Alterations stops at 100 also. And I think Mutilation Guard stops at 100. Yep, Mutilation Guard. All the rest of the gems you can get all the way to 150 to do your augments with. Now that's I guess that ends my quick rundown of the Firebirds. And just how badass this build is. Oh, look at that. Primal Shard of Hate. Garbage. That's nothing but lost souls. Oh, the Sword Shard of Hate. Okay, so, and then we'll see. Oh, I gotta re-equip this talents. So now, no. There. See how much my damage just jumped just putting those on from 387. All right. 558, and I have to put that anguage. Well, I believe I have you guys chat muted, so they shouldn't be able to hear you guys. I've done that on yeah, I've done that on purpose. So the only person who yeah, his little brother and little sister though, yeah, 6'7". So, and now I'm up at 800,000 damage just adding that shard. See, so I'm not even over a million damage. 800,000 damage. And I ran a 120 with your basic set, basic soul shards. So yes, the soul shards are the ones you want for the build. But, I mean, any soul shards that give you any good perks are going to help. See, and I just rolled some basic things on each one of these over the past 3 hours I've been doing this and ran a 120. So that's it for this broadcast. This one will actually, and it'll be up for 2 weeks. I'll try and figure out how to get it over to YouTube for you guys.